y'all, we back.
It's
Happy Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Y'all know what that means. It's time to kick it with them crickets.
It's time to pull up on.
Pull up on me.
What's up, y'all? I'm chilling today, man. I had a not a rough day. I had a real busy day. It wasn't rough. It was busy. Did a lot of driving. Made some real good contacts.
Hey, Kyle.
And you know, it's been good. Today was a good day. Today was a real good day. You know, God has been good to me today.
Yes.
Got some great news.
It's going up, y'all.
So yeah.
As you come in, say hello so we know who you are, and then do us a favor. Tag somebody. Tag somebody.
Tag,
share this to your page.
like,
all
and share.
Yes, tag, like, share. As you come in, please say hello. Please say hello. Let us know who you are.
What's up, Mr. Kyle Durham? Or Durham?
Durham.
Durham. I said that all wrong, bro. I'm sorry. I chopped your name up, man.
Hey,
My bad.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Ivory. We got the Durhams in the house. If y'all don't mind, do us a favor, please. Like, share, tag. Like, share, tag. All of the things. Like,
She
share,
said
tag.
like, share, and tag. I say tag, like, and share. Same thing.
Tomato, potato.
Ah. But yeah, today was a good day, man. I enjoyed today. Went to a job, man. Detroit is coming back, y'all. It's on the move, man. Like, they doing so much work in the city of Detroit. They building high rises, not just downtown, but I seen something being built outside of downtown. You know, like, man, on the inner city, you know, which is a great thing because that lets you know that it ain't just happening downtown. It's happening throughout the city. So, yeah, man, that's good. It's real good. How's everybody been? How's your day been? Come on, comment. How's your day going? Was God good to you today? No, God wasn't good to nobody today but me. That's it, just me on me.
Hey, y'all. Hey. As y'all come in, like, tag, share, please, and thank you. Like, tag, share. We gonna get started at 7:05. We in here.
We in here.
Like and tag and share. Grab somebody who you think would benefit from this. Whether they married, they single, they engaged, they, you know, they in a situationship. We for all the people.
All the peoples. Okay, y'all, look.
Everybody had a good day so far, though.
What I want to say is this. I know last week we said that we were going to discuss why do women feel like they are always right? That's what we said.
Hey, Sia.
But this is what we're going to do. We're not going to talk about that today. And the reason why is because we want to do that in person.
Yeah.
We want to do that in person. We're going to set up the day. We're going to make it real nice and, you know, just straight toasty. And, man, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time doing it. And I think it'll be better in person.
Why are you screaming at these people? They can hear you.
Oh, y'all can hear me? My bad.
Hi, sis.
She always asking me why I talk loud. I just talk loud.
He's screaming at y'all.
I just talk loud.
He don't mean no
Okay,
harm.
can y'all, well, if I talk like this, is that better?
Yeah.
But my voice gonna rise up again.
God.
I'm
anyway,
sorry.
Hey, y'all. Happy Tuesday. We are back. Stay tuned for that. We are going to talk about why women always think we right, because hashtag we are most of the time. Anyway, we're going to leave that right there. We ain't going to start no trouble tonight. But we want to do that in person. And just so y'all know, y'all, this will be year 20 for us. So we got some things that we trying to do this year as a 20-year celebration of marriage. And as, you know, a part of like the rebrand with the whole dream team and all of the things. So y'all rock with us, man. Tell your people. We all know somebody that can benefit from some good marriage material, some stuff with some substance, right? We hear a lot of things, we see a lot of things, and we just want to make sure that we give good, honest truth, that we give substance, and everything that we do is always biblically founded on the Word of God.
Absolutely.
The foundation is always going to be the Word of God. I probably said that wrong. I'm tired. It's been a long day, but y'all know what I mean. What up, though, Tang?
I want to add a hashtag to her hashtag. She lied.
Why?
Women ain't always right.
Anyway, happy Tuesday, y'all. So tonight we're gonna talk about I don't trust you, right? And I know a lot of times when we think about not trusting our mate, the first thing that comes to mind is somebody cheated, right? They done cheated, it's some infidelity, it's somebody. But we ain't even coming from that angle tonight. What happens when you mishandle vulnerability? That's what we're talking about tonight. Because when your spouse is not safe with it, when you don't allow your spouse or your person to be emotionally naked, you literally snatch the rug of trust from up under them. You take away everything that they need and that's needed to build a solid relationship. Because you do know, without trust, we have nothing.
Nothing at all.
We have nothing. And so, it was some years ago, anybody that's on here that's been rocking with us for quite some time knows that typically, every year around our anniversary, whatever number we're approaching, I typically go, I start and I say, 14 days to 14 years or whatever that is, right? And so, a few years ago, I did a post about mishandling my heart being a safe landing place for my husband, right? And y'all know we very, very transparent. And for years, I was that safe place. But then something happened. And our communication got screwed up. We weren't seeing eye to eye. And so that place that used to be soft was no longer soft, y'all. So he wasn't able to be as vulnerable with me as I should have allowed him to, because I was hurt. But then I also had pride because of that, because we do understand, the Bible tells us in Proverbs that pride goes before destruction and haughtiness before a fall. So wherever pride is, destruction is nearby. Right? Hey, yo. Wherever pride is, destruction is right there. So, because I didn't allow him to be soft with me, he in turn didn't allow me to be soft with him. So it went through this vicious cycle of mishandling each other's emotions. And before we knew it, we were having a conversation, and I just flat out told him, I don't trust you.
She did.
I don't trust you.
She said,
what you mean you don't trust me? I don't trust you with my emotions. Because what I learned through that, though, is this. I didn't fully understand him as a person and as a man. Because remember, we talked about last week when we dealt with the communication piece. Men and women communicate differently.
Totally different.
Which means we perceive things differently. Our traumas, the things that we dealt with in the past, all of those things frame not only how we see things, but how we hear things, right? And so there were some things that happened to him, some relationships, both intimate and personal, friendship-wise, that tainted and jaded his view of emotions. And for me, I didn't understand it. All I knew was, when I come to you with my problems, when I come to you feeling some type of way, I need you to not only hear me, I need you to understand me. And not always that I need you to fix it, but if you did nothing else, allow me the opportunity to be able to share my heart with you without getting pushed back, without feeling like I'm bothering you, without feeling like there's something wrong with me. And so that's how we got to the point of, I don't trust you.
Yeah, we did, but I tried to tell you everything that was wrong with me. And you didn't listen to what I was telling you. You didn't listen to the effects that those things had on me that I was still carrying around. And that was the reason that I really wasn't emotionally connected.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't emotionally connected because I had to literally set my emotions to the side because after hurt, after hurt, after hurt, after hurt, after hurt, you get to a point, I ain't being hurt no more.
Absolutely.
You know, and I don't care about nobody's emotions. I care about mine, and everybody stepped on them. So, again, hurt people, right? So I don't want to be hurt no more because I don't want to hurt. So let me throw my emotions to the side. But I threw them to the side, but I still talk to you about them. But you didn't hear me.
Now, here's a teachable moment in that. I didn't hear you because I had already came up with this ideology in my mind of how my husband should respond to me. Void of what he got going on, void of the things that he may still be dealing with. All I saw was, and all I understood was, he's my husband, he's my protector, he's supposed to be my safe place. I was immature and I disregarded the fact that even though he is supposed to do all of those things, he is still a human, he is still an individual, and he still has his own issues. And if I don't understand that and allow room for that and grace for that, I will always feel like you're supposed to take what I give you, chew it, swallow it, and not ever feel like you got space to feel how you feel. Right? So I had to learn that just because I'm having a moment doesn't always mean that you know how to handle the moment because you got your own stuff. I learned that though, right? I had to learn that you had your own stuff too.
Right.
But I didn't see that. So we got to be careful not to build our person up. Let me say it this way. It's kind of likened to how people see leaders or pastors, right? They put them on this pedestal, and then the moment they fall, everybody's world crumbles. You know why? Because people forget that they're human. People forget that they have emotions. People forget that leaders and pastors and moms and dads, we got emotions too. We just have been taught how to cope instead of deal. It's a difference between coping with something and being healed from it. A big difference. We taught how to cope with stuff, right? And so because he did so well with presenting his coping skills, I automatically assumed he had the wherewithal and the bandwidth to deal with anything I had going on. And that wasn't fair to him.
Because I was dealing with a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but I think what really happened is both of us were selfish in a relationship. We were both selfish. And marriage consists of you being selfless instead of selfish. Because you got to be. There it is. Marriage is an act of service, right? So therefore, I should have took it upon myself, which I thought I did, was to explain it to you a little more in detail, so you can really understand the effects that it had on me. You know, but I was also scared to be vulnerable. Because I thought that you would use it against me. You know, and most men, you know, we don't want to become vulnerable because the minute we become vulnerable, it's like, and I'm not talking about you guys, but there's a lot of women that use that against us. You know, and now we jump right back into that shell and we don't want to, no, I'm good. I'm good. Vulnerability, you won't get it from me. What you're going to get is this straight, raw man. And that's what you're getting, you know, and it's sad because I believe that most men want to be vulnerable. They want to go home and just be loved and release and just give their all to their wife. Why wouldn't you? And I think that's the best thing because when you do that, everybody opens up. You know, you open up, I open up. The love get better, the love making get better. You know, everything just intensifies. Everything intensifies. So I think, you know, we have to dial it back, sit down, have a conversation so we can find out where we need to go, what we need to do so we can have a better marriage.
And the other part of that too is this. You also had to help me understand that because we as people, society, and then when we become wise, it's embedded in the woman. It's your protector, it's your provider, right? So because y'all are taught that, your ideology also was, if I can't fix it, I don't want to deal with it. You didn't want to see me cry, but I didn't. What you crying for? And that made me feel like I couldn't be vulnerable with you until I understood that it wasn't that you didn't want me to be vulnerable. If it was something you literally felt like you couldn't fix, it was easier for you to just dismiss it and let's just move on, right? But you had to learn. It's not. Sometimes the only fix that I need is to be able to cry in your arms. Sometimes the only fix I need is to be able to lay on your chest and know, you know what, I just needed this moment. But we had to learn how to build trust with one another because we came from two different backgrounds. We came with two different understandings of marriage and relationship and how we handled each other. And so what we brought to the relationship was how we dealt with everything else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What we brought to vulnerability or the lack thereof was how we navigated through life up to that point. So now when we got here and we never had a conversation about it, we always bumped heads, or we bumped heads more often than not when it came to our emotions, because the truth of the matter is neither one of us know how to deal with them. Neither one of us knew what it was to allow the other one to be vulnerable.
Very true.
Because vulnerability is perceived as weakness.
That's it.
Right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say, but that's not true. That's
not
actually
truth at
strength.
all. Yes.
That's actually strength, right?
It is.
And you had to tell me one time, baby, I don't always want to be Superman. I want to be Clark Kent sometimes, right? But I had to allow you the place and the space to be that, right? And I did, but then, again, where the tables turn is because the preconceived notion that you had to be the fixer, to be the Superman, and not because I told you you had to be that. I think a lot of that came with just how men are built by society.
Yeah, I believe that. But then you have some men who they're just automatic fixers. They see something broken, they want to fix it. And that's just me. I'm a fixer. You know what I'm saying? I always want to help somebody. If somebody's broken, I want to go and try to do the best that I can to help them so they can become whole.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my heart, right? But you can't fix everybody.
No, you
know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, you can't fix nobody. Only God does that, right? So here it is. How can I help you become whole? Well, first of all, let me start praying for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me do that. Number one, let me start praying for you. Number two, let me be that soft landing spot for you. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you that vulnerability. Because if I show you all this, that just opens you up to become more sensitive to say, oh yes, I just need you, and I just come on, let's do this. You know?
Because when we're not vulnerable, it creates distance between us.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's the thing, y'all. This is what we got to remember. Infidelity don't start in the bed. Infidelity don't start with the text messages, right? That ain't where it starts. It starts right here.
Right now.
So when you're not allowed to be vulnerable at home, you're going to find somewhere else to be vulnerable. This is why we cannot play these emotional games. This is why when he talked about last week about the emotional immaturity, we have to be very aware of the areas that we are immature in.
Yes.
Because it's not an excuse, right? But this is how this stuff starts. See, we quick to judge people when they done committed adultery. And again, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's right. But we got to stop being so spiritual and so highfalutin that we just want to judge people without looking at perspectives, right?
Period.
And so when people tend to go somewhere else to land, it's because they couldn't land at home. So we got to be careful with not dealing with our emotions. We got to be careful when we so prideful and we feel like somebody just ought to do it. No, that ain't how that works. The Bible says, on all you'll get what? Get an understanding. How does your spouse operate? Why is it that when we have these emotional or these real intense conversations that you buckle up? Why is it that when we get in these spaces, you shut down? We got to find out why we're like that, whether it's me or whether it's you. Why are we like that? Because we as people can only take so much, right? And so when it gets to the point of infidelity, what you got to know is it's some stuff that's been building and some stuff that's been brewing. And somewhere along the line, somebody shut down.
That's good that you said that. So with her saying that, I want to say this. If you talk about the little things, you get strength and build that muscle to talk about the bigger things.
Absolutely.
So talk about the little things so you can talk about the bigger things, the bigger issues, right? Because really you want to fix. Most people say, you know what? I'm just tired. I'm ready to be done. Forget this. You are not the one for me. Why not? Why isn't that the one for you?
Yeah.
Y'all fell in love. If you fell in love, that is the one for you. But a lot of times what happened, y'all let pride get in the way. You let pride get in the way, and both of y'all prideful and forget vulnerability and anything else. It's just like, bye, I'm done. But then you take it and you go to your next relationship and you haven't dealt with this stuff. You bring it to that one.
Absolutely.
And now you right back where you started from. So talk about the little things. Discuss them. So when the bigger things, become an issue, you can have a conversation about it. And both of you guys can be vulnerable.
Yeah. And to your point, sometimes we get in relationships and we fall in love with the idea of what we think love is. Right. We fall in love with somebody else's relationship that we saw.
Go, right there.
And we forget that we only saw what they allowed us to see.
That's it.
Right?
That's
and so
it.
now you want to try and bring what they doing to your relationship, and that doesn't always work. This is something we said, I know y'all probably done heard this a million times. You eat the meat and throw the bones away.
That's it.
Right? Hey, Nettable, you eat the meat and throw the bones away, right? Because when we fall in love with the idea of something without having an understanding of it, you dooming yourself, right? And this is the reason why we came back and we wanted to have these conversations, because there was a point where, most of y'all probably noticed if you've been following us for any amount of time, there's an age difference between us, right? There's 18 years between us.
She older than me.
Yeah, I'm a cougar, y'all. But there's an age difference between us, right? And so me being younger, and me being raised around marriages that I saw some healthy and I saw a lot of unhealthy, right? I had an idea of what I felt like marriage should be. I had an idea of what I felt my husband should be like. But then when my idea or my expectations didn't always meet my reality, I was like a little kid. I crumbled, right? Because I felt like you're supposed to check these boxes. You're supposed to. That was me being immature. That was me not realizing and not understanding. No, baby girl, that ain't how that works. You got to learn to understand him. You got to learn to understand that just because we're trying to get to the same place don't mean we starting at the same place. Absolutely. Right? If you ask me how to get to my house, I can tell you where I live, but I also need to know where you're coming from. Because I can take you all the way around the world and delay you getting here because I don't ask you where you're starting. So a lot of times we want to have these conversations and we not even doing the grunt work in the beginning, right? Baby, can you handle this right now? We had to learn those things, right? Can you handle it? And then we can't approach conversations expecting our spouses to allow us to have a safe landing place, and we using words like you always and you never or we need to talk. You automatically pushing them in a corner.
Oh man, here we go.
Because now they thinking it's something wrong, right?
Yep.
So we have to learn how to tailor what we say. Still, the Bible says speak the truth in love. That's the other thing. If you always come out guns blazing, that's not speaking the truth in love.
That's defending.
That's defending. Honesty
Yeah.
should always be coated in grace.
Always.
Every
time.
single time.
Every time.
Right? You should always have some grace about what you say. Now, am I saying we don't miss the mark sometimes? No, because guess what? He just told me the other week, you be talking real reckless to me.
She do.
Not that I don't be cussing him out, so don't take it that way. Sometimes I can be short, right? But guess where that came from? Because I had resentment, first of all. I had resentment because of some other things, right? Because I'm still trying to come back to that place of it's okay for me to relax. Because the man that I was dealing with in that season is not that man now. But nor is the woman that he was dealing with in those seasons is the woman now.
Right.
But if we stay stuck in the past, we'll never catch up. We'll never be present. And so now I'm handling him or responding to him like the version of him that he used to be. And that's unforgiveness. I don't care how you cut it. I don't care how you put it, how you wrap it, how many bows you put on it. It's unforgiveness. And stop being extra, because I admitted it.
That's why I'm giving you a hand clap of praise. I'm giving you a hand clap of praise.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I need a heave on
Yes.
But so we have to realize those things too, because that's another way that you can dismiss trust or diminish trust rather, because like he tells me, you still dealing with me or handling me like I'm the old person. That ain't cool. You right.
I told her that.
You did
because
say
that's what she was doing. She kept handling me like I was the old me, handling me like the Harold she met.
Right.
You know, and I told her, I said, you know what? That wasn't even me. That was
that was a fractured version of you.
It wasn't even a version of me. That was an imposter. That's what that was. That was an imposter trying to be Harold. Because really, I'm really growing into who I am now, which is a great guy, which is a fantastic husband, a fantastic father.
Absolutely.
Even though my father died when I was 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, I never met him. But here it is, me not having a father and being a good father, going into being a great father, says a lot about who I am. You know, but here it was, she was treating me like, or just recently, she was treating me like the old me, you know, and I had a lot of issues. And I used to tell her, like, baby, you just got to be patient with me. You got to be patient because of the things that I've been through, you know, for the last 30 years. It ain't going to just go away. It takes time. So bear with me. Give me grace. Just love me, right? And I just recently told her, I said, man, you love the hell up out of me. You know what I'm saying? You loved me back to life. You gave me what I needed, you know, and I told her, I said, you know, from this day, I promise you, man, we ain't gonna want for nothing. You know, and I promise you, you are the one, you are the one for me. The vulnerability you give, the love you give, the selfless acts that you do, I love it. She gives me everything that I need. So in turn, I'm giving her everything she needs.
And you said something, patient, right? Love is patient, right? But if we forget that, we will get beside ourselves, and then we'll put this time or this hourglass on how we feel like, or the amount of time we feel like it should take for our spouse to be over something or past something. That's not always how that works, right? But I had to learn that too, because guess what? I have my own stuff. And if we're honest with ourselves, sometimes we don't even understand what we still harboring until we face it. Because out of sight, out of mind is a real thing. And I had a conversation with one of our daughters the other week, and I said, are you still feeling a certain type of way about a situation? And she said, no, Mama. I said, are you sure? She said, yeah. I said, answer this question. Do you feel like you forgiven because you don't have to face the person? Or do you feel like you forgiven, or do you know that you forgiven because when you think about it, you don't have a certain type of emotion, or when you do see them, your whole aura don't change? Because it's easy to feel like or say, I don't forgive them, but you don't have to see them. I've forgiven them, but you don't talk to them. That's not the same, right? And so a couple of years ago, I was faced with a situation, and I want to be judicious about it, so I'm not even going to give context to it. However, I'm going to say this. It put me in a space where not only that I had to deal with the person, but I had to deal with all of the emotions that I had suppressed. And then I realized that some of how I was dealing with him had something to do with what I still had suppressed. Right? And he used to tell me that, and I'm like, no, it ain't got nothing to do with that. But then I realized some of it did. Some of it did. But guess what? In order for me to receive that from him, I had to trust what he was saying. And I had to trust that it was coming from a place that he was saying it to help me, not to attack me. So this is why trust is big and vulnerability is big, because the person that you're married to, the person that you're supposed to spend forever with, should be able to love you and to correct you. But if you hurt, if you don't trust them, you will always feel weaponized, demonized, and attacked, and you will never grow. All you're doing is adding another brick to the wall that you've already built, because you can't receive anything.
That's good.
You can't receive anything.
That's
so I've learned how to tear these walls down, but guess what? He tearing them down too, because it ain't just my responsibility. Although he's not responsible for my triggers, he's not responsible for my emotional instability in those moments, he does have a job to help heal me. Just like I have a job to help heal him. But he can only do what I allow him to do.
That's right.
And he can, I can only do what he allows me to do. But that comes with trust. That comes with knowing that if I'm saying it, I'm saying it because I love you. I'm saying it because I'm trying to show you what's needed so that we can grow. Because if one of us stuck, we both stuck. Ain't no such thing as he moving forward and I'm staying stuck. No. We throw this term unequally yoked around, and people say that all the time. But that ain't just dealing with spiritual stuff. That's dealing with any area of your life. Anything.
Yes.
And if your spouse is growing and you staying stuck, you the problem.
It's true.
You're the problem.
It's good.
And it doesn't matter what happens to us in life. What matters is how we allow those things to affect our lives. Because we can't change it, right? We were having a conversation before a couple of years ago. We was packing to go out of town. I'll never forget this. We were packing to go out of town, and we were having a discussion. And somewhere along the lines, the discussion went left. And so I'm like, you this, and you did that, and you did it. And he said, wait, stop. Wait, stop. And I'm like, what? He like, hold my hand. So now I'm rolling my eyes.
She mad.
He like, I want you to go somewhere with me. I'm like, it's like 11:30 at night. We got to be at the airport at 6 in the morning. Go where? I don't even want to go nowhere. He like, no. Just trust me. Go. He used these words. True story. Trust me. Go somewhere with me. And I'm like, where, man? He like, let's go back to yesterday. Now my attitude done intensified by 100, because I'm like, so now you trying to be funny and I'm really trying to. He's like, no, I'm not laughing. I'm serious. Let's go back to yesterday. I'm like, you know we can't go back to yesterday. He said, and that's the point that I'm making. So why are we still harping on yesterday or even the days beyond that? All we got to deal with is now.
Today.
All we can do is work on our future so our future don't look like yesterday. But if you stay stuck back there, we're never going to go anywhere. And how can you trust me if you still attached to the old me?
I want to say this one little small thing. You have to work on today, right? You can talk about your future. You can write a vision down for your future. But you can only deal with today.
Today.
That's all you can deal with is today. Because you can say, I'll see you tomorrow. But you don't know if you're going to get up tomorrow. So you can only deal with today. So that's why it's important to love for today. Talk about the small things today. Get vulnerable today. Love your spouse better today.
That's good.
Say I'm sorry today. Because tomorrow is not promised to none of us. We got to start operating in today. And if God willing, tomorrow will come. So I would say, if you're having any issues, if you're dealing with anything, work on it today. Let today be the day that you deal with any insecurities. Let today be the day that you work on your love strategy.
So good.
Today. Today. Today.
That's so good.
That's all I want to say is today. Today.
That was good. Well, that's all we got for today, y'all. I hope that we said something that enlightened y'all, that enriched y'all, that added some substance to, you know, your marriage, your relationship. Share it with somebody. We're not gatekeepers. Let us not be gatekeepers, right? You know, share it with somebody. And if y'all don't mind, as we always ask, do us a favor. Like this, share this, tag somebody. If it's helping you, help somebody else, right?
Yes,
each one
please.
reach one, teach one. So if it's helping you, y'all help us grow our community. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. The Dream Team Coaching on YouTube. Instagram, we're the Dream Team. The Dream Team Relationship. Facebook, the Dream Team Coaching. TikTok, we're Them Crittens. So please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Thank y'all so much for showing up. We appreciate the support. We are working on some things, but as we said, this year is our 20-year
20 years
being married. 20 years of being married. We having a 20-year vow renewal, all of the things, and so we're gonna do a couple in-person things, and we want y'all to be along to celebrate. You know, we didn't get here just by ourselves. Ultimately, it was God. But although we've helped a lot of couples, even though they said across from us to get help, guess what? We got help too. Because we learned something every single time. Every single time. So we want y'all to celebrate this journey with us. We love y'all so much. And yeah, keep us in y'all prayers. And if y'all not doing nothing Sunday for my local folks, Larry Callahan has selected a guy. We will be in concert at 6 o'clock Sunday, Triumph East 75 in the Boulevard. It is completely free. It is our annual Palm Sunday concert. Doors open at 5. Show starts at 6. We've been working hard. We got new music. Please pull up on us. And my mama, the Pastor Brenda Jones, is having the most phenomenal women's conference ever that she's been hosting for the last 34 years. That starts this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. EOW, Extraordinary Ordinary Women. So if you have not gotten your tickets, they are still on sale. They do have day passes, $49 each day. Saturday, that does include lunch or brunch, and then on Sunday, Mama will be culminating services by preaching the word. So y'all, please pull up. Thursday, Dr. Sharon Nesbitt will be there. Amazing woman of God. And then on Friday, DJ Caitlin Carr will be in the building. On Saturday, I think we got Pastor Rochelle Chapman and somebody else is
Elizabeth
preaching.
Somebody, I think it is.
And then
Elizabeth something.
Bishop Jones always closes out great information. Man of Wisdom. Man of Wisdom.
Definitely.
They will be married 55 years this year. So listen.
Our spiritual parents.
Listen.
Come on,
a well of wealth of information.
Absolutely.
All right. So it's a lot going on, y'all. Pull up somewhere. We love y'all. Stay in love. Work on you today. Work on your relationship today. All right.
And remember, 2 hearts, 1 goal. Peace.